All right, everyone roll their dice just to see how this recording session is going to go.
It seemed appropriate as a starting thing.
Oh.
5.
4.
I got a 19.
Hold on, can I try it in the dice tray?
Okay.
I'm going to be chief.
Is that
14.
better? 14? Okay,
14.
still though, yeah.
4.
Looks up.
I feel it in my bones.
Not the best. All right, well,
Got the trap.
welcome to Tales of Fire and Stone. The time is... You don't know. It's a long time ago. No one knows. None of these people know because they are living in that time. And so you, dear audience, must put aside what you know of our modern world and put yourself back into a time before metal was smelted, before human beings had become the dominant species on the planet, before podcasts. But here we are. I am Ian, your game master. We are playing with the Born from Ice system, which is a Dungeons & Dragons spin-off, still in production, about to start printing. And they have been good enough to help us along the way and send us their beta copies of the player's guide and the core book for me. You don't get it, you players. First up, we have...
I'm Rick Hecht, playing Slow to Speak. I take my time, and that's helped me survive, these 42 cycles.
Many summers on this earth in the tribe of the Crows. Slow to speak. Slow to speak, what is your class in the Born from Ice system?
My class is Intuitive Sage.
So we have and your background.
My background is Elder.
We have our Elder 42. Jesus, I just turned 41. But this is a very different world.
Have you upgraded your character sheet accordingly?
I have. I don't know what level I'm at, though. We're all starting at level 1, by the way, regardless of age. Next up, we have...
Hi, I'm Lakeland Taylor, and I will be playing Oops! So it's been 19 summers since I got here, and I'm an unbreakable survivor and a scavenger as my background.
I guess we can start with some of our tribal relationships. How are you related to these people?
So funny enough, I am actually related to Slow to Speak, which I think is kind of funny because I'm not slow to speak, but you wouldn't know that if you met my dad, so...
And you have met her dad.
Thank you, Slow to Speak.
That's him.
We're gonna subject not our youngest character, but our player who is the newest to the world of D&D, Rick, aka Slow to Speak, on his first adventure. Slow to Speak, you and Oops are off hunting. To give you a sense of the landscape in which you are wandering and searching, you modern viewers and listeners and players, imagine an African savanna, kind of bushy, the occasional tree, and it has been a long, dry summer. The larger prey species have been getting farther and farther, harder to find. You've been following them up the river valley, but the river isn't flowing.
Do you think we should just keep going, or do you think now is a good place to kind of turn around? It kind of isn't great that we don't have anything yet, but I'm sure that's okay.
Well, we have come this far and have not found prey. It does not make sense to think that if we turned around, the prey that was not there would return. I think we must proceed further. Can I do some sort of check?
What are you looking for?
I am looking for signs that animals have been this way.
All right, go ahead. You may make your first official roll, and this is going to be a survival check. So you'll add You are proficient in survival.
Managed it so far.
So that would be under wisdom.
Okay,
The
so
bigger
I get
number
the
there,
plus
the plus
5.
five.
So is that a 9? So that is a 14.
Nice.
You find 2 little grooves pressed into the dry mud in the lake bed, and you see what you recognize as the hooves of a deer, or a deer-like animal. Unfortunately, those same prints look like they've been there for quite some time. You don't know when there's last been water at this point in the stream, but you know it hasn't been recently.
Oops, having not seen those tracks, is like, oh, what are you looking at? And like steps over one.
Oops. Now we do not know what direction the tracks were going.
What tracks?
Where your foot is?
Picks up her foot and like takes a couple steps back.
Would you like to try something else? Or you can also make a search.
I was gonna say, can I roll and see if there's any like berries or any foliage or plants that seem like I could gather stuff from them or that have been eaten by an animal maybe?
Okay, you go ahead and make a survival check looking for edible.
It's gonna be a 7.
7. Okay, all right.
No, I'm just kidding. That's gonna be a 9.
Yes, okay, so with that 9, I'm afraid you find nothing. You find some shriveled up old berries, but they've long since dried out. It looks like the plant didn't get enough water to finish producing its berries. The drought has been going on now for a few months. You rely on the rains that come in this season to keep that water flowing. Without it, most of the plants are turning brown around you.
Maybe we should leave this dried up river in search of other water.
Are you sure? What if you're not worried that something's going to go wrong?
Why would I worry that something was going to go wrong? I'm
here. So, if we went back, you could rally someone to come with you.
Why would I not want you? Why would I not want you, my child? You are speaking the words that others have spoken about you.
But it does seem to happen often.
My child, I fear nothing when I am with you. Please, let us continue the hunt together.
For those listening at home.
We
And
got
by
deep
oops, I mean Lakeland.
fast. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Whew.
Can I do a check looking a long distance to see if there are signs of greener vegetation?
You can't see a whole lot from where you are. However, you can tell that if you were to go just a little bit up into the surrounding hills or potentially climb a tree from a higher vantage point, you would be able to see farther.
Well, I don't have a lot of dexterity, so I don't know. How are you at climbing trees?
I'm so good. I can do that.
Would you climb that tree?
Yeah, absolutely. So I try to climb is there a tree around?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got so there's a tree nearby. It's you can tell that the vegetation on the lower branches has been stripped away. Something has come through and eaten it, but it may have been some time ago. However, there are the limbs left over towards the bottom of the tree are quite easy to get your hands around. Go ahead and make a roll for athletics.
I need to recite. I'm not using this anymore. That's going to be an 11.
So it's not so much that you're great at climbing trees, it's just you've never hurt yourself too badly in a tree.
All right.
Yeah, well, she doesn't fall out. We're gonna say it just takes you a while, but you managed to get up the tree. And now go ahead and make a perception roll. It's looking out.
That's so much better.
She sees the mountains in the
13.
distance.
Still not better.
All right. However, from up here, you see back down the ways. You're high enough that actually, if you look back in the direction you've walked from, you can see your camp. You see the smoke of a cooking fire drifting up into the air. But if you look in the other direction, things do look a little bit greener further up along the trail into the foothills of the mountains towards the shadows, which is to say, the direction that the shadows go in the middle of the day.
Hey, I can see our tribe from here.
So, we have spent much time and not covered much distance.
Well, if we go in the other direction, it looks greener, I guess, than where we are now. And so she climbs down.
Climbs down the tree. We can assume you make it down without incident. Maybe you fall the last 10 feet, but somehow, oops hits the ground. A little oof, a little oops.
Come, my
But she's
child.
okay.
What are we waiting for? Let's go! Oops is just gonna, run forward.
Right?
You must be careful, my child.
I'm always careful. What do you mean?
Humor me. Walk with me.
Hits head on tree branch is fine.
Okay, you make it. All right, you make it up a little bit further up into the hills. There's a bit of green. It seems to be a little foothill that somehow, in all of your time moving around this valley, following the prey, in your many years, and your few, not so many summers, you've found a place you hadn't noticed before. And indeed, as you get further, you see that not only is it just a little bit more green, there's a very small patch of lush green vegetation. It seems that you have found a little mountain spring.
This is incredible.
Oops immediately kneels down and, starts to drink some of the water.
Yeah. You would, yes, this is the most water you have been collecting, the smallest little bits of water where you can find it. And this is fresh, clean, clear, trickling water. You can smell it. You get close and you can feel the difference in the air, that moisture in the air that you've been missing, that you have not experienced since many moons ago.
What time of day is it?
It is mid-afternoon. You have been out hunting all day. You are tired. You are thirsty. You are very hungry.
Let us take a rest by this spring, by this water that's flowing out from the ground. Let us drink our fill and sit quietly, hide ourselves, perhaps. My hope is that if we wait here for a while, an animal or animals will come to drink, and we will be able to bring back both food and this amazing news of this water
Does she have anything that she can like put some of this water into, like a
We have
So you-
water
she
skins.
scoops it into her hands and then immediately
I don't
just
know
like
if it's-
runs
Yes,
through her
I'm
fingers?
I'm altering the tribal pack and saying that you've got simple gourds, hollowed out
Okay.
gourds with little wooden corks in the tops. You had some water in them when you left this morning. You have drunk it all up. You can fill those back up.
This is not for me though. I'm gonna save it for somebody else.
That is very thoughtful of you, my child.
So then Oops just kind of like squats down into the shadows and just waits.
Yeah, go ahead, we can consider this a little short rest with you. Neither of you had any stamina loss to make up. But you do, I hadn't mentioned this before, but you had been suffering a level of exhaustion from your thirst and hunger. Mm-hmm. And while you still have not filled your bellies with the food that you need, having that stomach full of fresh water, splashing that cold water on your face, it drips off of your dark skin, drips down. But as you sit there, you hear a sound. Something just a little, very small rustling in the bushes. Nothing big, but it's just over, where's that? Just sunward a little ways. Go ahead and make I'm assuming you're going to go after it, because why wouldn't you? So both of you need to make a stealth check.
Okay.
Using a
Sneak up on
different
this
dice
thing.
this time.
So,
Good one.
and I get a plus 3.
19.
That's 5, so that would be 8.
Just as Oops peers through the bushes, carefully moving the branches aside so she makes no noise, she catches the glimpse of a little gray flash of fur. It looks like a rabbit. But just as you get close enough that you start to lift up your, what do you have?
I have a stone knife or a hafted axe. So maybe I could...
Okay.
I'd probably do my hafted axe first. Stone knives are for finesse.
Okay, all right. And behind her, slow to speak, has cracked a branch moving through. He can't stoop quite as low as you. He can't crawl quite as well. His bones have suffered some injuries. The rabbit starts to run.
Oh, stink.
No,
I'm sorry.
This is my fault.
Chase the rabbit. Chase the rabbit. You need to eat.
Go.
I chased the rabbit.
Okay, all right, make a quick survival check.
22.
Alrighty. The rabbit, startled at your appearance, darts forward, and you keep close behind it, and within a few moments, you see that it has run into a little place where the hill gets a bit steeper. There's a bit of a cliff that kind of juts out. The rabbit has just cornered itself.
Oh yeah,
You catch up.
I put my axe away when I started running, and I took out my knife and I just throw it at the rabbit in the cliff.
All right. Yep. The rabbit has a moment of stillness as it frantically looks around, trying to figure out which way to go. You throw your knife. Roll for it.
What do I add to that?
Probably your dexterity.
20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is plenty.
Amazing.
Yes. Your stone knife, the flint that you worked hard around sitting by the fire, does its job. It pierces the rabbit, and the rabbit, well, roll for damage and we'll see what the rabbit exactly does.
So 6.
The rabbit is gone. You can see its dying breaths are already slowing. The tradition in your tribe would be to say a little prayer for this creature that you have killed.
So Oops kind of pulls out the knife and makes sure it's dead, but takes the kind of hilt of it and presses it against her head and goes, "Back to Earth. Thank you." And that is her version of the prayer.
Okay. All right.
And then she turns around. Look! I got it!
I am so proud. I'm thinking we are so hungry, and this is one rabbit which would not feed more than the two of us. anyway. I think it is right for us to claim this rabbit and regain our strength. And where there's one rabbit, there's likely to be many rabbits.
Oh. Okay, well...
I'm saying let us eat this rabbit here and now.
Your mouths are watering.
What if we put it over a fire, or like start to, and maybe the smell, so before we eat it, the smell will attract other animals, but then if we don't get any other animals, then we take the cooked meat back to the tribe, and then it doesn't look like, you know?
It will look like what exactly?
Well, Little Fire is so upset with us, so maybe if we eat it, then she'll have more anger.
There's no need for Little Fire to know. There is need for us to survive another day, to hunt both for us and for Little Fire and for the tribe.
Okay, well, you know best, so...
Let's cook it up.
I assume at least one of you has brought your hand drill along.
Oh, yes. I would not leave without it.
You've found this spring, there is some lush vegetation, but you don't have to go far before the plants are pretty dried out. It is very easy to find fire starting material.
I will start the fire. Do I need to roll dice to start the fire, or...
We're
we
gonna
just
just
assume
assume, you know what, the dice have been annoying me today, so we're gonna save the dice for when there's slightly more pressing stuff. You've had many hands of summers of starting fires.
I will start the fire and get it going. Why don't you explore this green area and see what herbs there may be, and see if there are holes in the ground where animals may live, and listen.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely, yeah. And so Oops is gonna do that, but real quiet, or as quiet as she can, anyway.
Okay, all right. I think we are gonna leave you there. Well, go ahead and roll and see what you do find in the way of edible vegetation.
Oh,
Was that survival? That's gonna be a 5.
Oh, okay. Oops.
We can't eat that.
He said, oh, okay.
partially rotten frog.
Do I have anything in my scavenger background that helps with this? I don't think I do.
You might. We'd have to look at that. But we can leave that for now. Let us cut to another little hunting party going out. We have...
Taylor McAlonin. I'm playing SnowShines. I'm going to be our resident Silver Tongue. Try to keep everything going smoothly with all the other tribes people we're going to end up irritating. I am also playing as an elder of 38 seasons, so slightly younger, but I've been around once or twice through the valley.
And you are, the rest of our players so far are all born into this tribe. I don't think we've actually established what tribe you came from, have we?
I don't believe we have yet, but
All right,
more to be learned in the future.
What you really mean is it's just a mystery for now.
Yes, exactly. All
The name
right.
doesn't translate right into tribal.
Yeah.
I am Jonathan Topol, and I will be playing LooksUp. I am a strategist for the classes of this game. I am 18 summers old, and SnowShines, that is my dad. He has told me about snow. I still don't fully believe him.
That's fair.
Okay, all right.
I have seen snow, and it went away.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that looks up?
Very convenient. It's very, very convenient.
No evidence left. And then finally,
So my name is Meg, and I am playing StandsTall, who is a 22-year-old male. in the tribe. He is a mighty champion. My background is warrior, and he is the brother of LooksUp,
Yep.
and perhaps there are other relationships. Or not, I'm not sure yet.
Yes. So stands tall. Oh, you forgot about your dear mother, Little Fire,
Yes, Little Fire.
and
How could I forget?
and her mate, SnowShines.
Okay, yes. Great. Hey, Dad.
Hello, son.
I believe you've been seeing buzzards and other signs of the potentially bad times you are in. But you've seen off in the other direction, further down the dry riverbed, you have seen buzzards flying. We have SnowShines, stands tall, and looks up.
Yeah, head down the
Okay.
hill towards wherever they're.
Right, it takes you a little while walking down along the valley. As you start getting a little bit closer, you take note of the wind. So the wind is blowing off to the side. You don't need to worry too much about your scent being carried towards them. You also can't smell anything coming that way yourself. You can see that there are two large vultures on the ground, and they are picking at something. It does look like not much more than bones at this point. Another vulture is circling up in the sky. But you're about 60 feet away now. Who's approaching?
I think I'm going to stay a bit on the edge of this one, guys.
Yeah, I'll
I'll
move
approach.
forward as well.
Okay. So SnowShines and stands tall. Please make a stealth check.
All right, first roll.
And I'm going to be staying just keeping an eye on them.
Yeah.
All right, I got a 17 there.
Yeah, classic tank. I got a 4.
Because I have Wise Counselor.
Oh.
Within 30 feet, I can use an action to allow an ally to re-roll an ability check or save they just failed.
Okay, all right.
So, as if I may put it to another re-roll, as you're about to put your foot down, I just hand and point to the stick that your foot was about to land on.
All right. He's gesturing. You can't see this, but gesture is a major part of their language, so we will describe that as
I
necessary.
pointed at the stick, made a face like, "What are you doing?" Then pointed at my eyes, pointed at the ground.
Okay.
Right, okay. So, all right,
All right.
re-roll. See if you
Sis,
can.
looking out for me. Okay, that's a
right.
19. No sticks in my path.
Okay, and you rolled what?
A 17.
SnowShines? All right, okay. That is enough. All right, you get a little bit closer. You are now, as you are moving stealthily, you're not moving super fast. So you make it about half the distance to them. At this point, do you keep moving forward?
Can I try to find a nice throwing stone somewhere around me? To try
Okay.
to
Yes, yeah, you find
incapacitate
it.
a vulture.
No problem, yeah. In the future, you might have to think about that earlier because I might be making you roll an additional check. Oh, you're playing with rocks? They're going to be knocking against each other. I'll be nice for now. I'm not the great spirit. I'm just the GM.
Well, is a spear a ranged weapon? Can I throw my spear?
You can throw your spear. However, I do believe that spear only has a 20-foot,
That's what I wasn't sure of, yeah.
20-foot or beyond that up to 60 feet with disadvantage, I believe. We are, by the way, dear listener, far enough back that there is no bow and arrow. There is no spear thrower atlatl. There is maybe not even a sling or a slingshot. What we have, though, are stone-tipped weapons with wooden handles of a variety of shapes and sizes, and a few little modifications to make them fly through the air a bit better. They're very clever. They are modern humans just like you and I, just living in a very different world. But your spear has a few feathers attached to the end of it. Your arm is strong. You're gonna get a little bit closer.
Yeah, how far are we? You said 30 feet?
Yeah, you're about 30 feet away. If you move closer, you will need to make another stealth check. Or you could try throwing from where you are at disadvantage.
I kind of want to throw. I look at my dad.
I'll do some signaling for wait. I'll try to move forward, and if they get scared, throw immediately.
Okay.
Okay, all communicated silently with their hands. Okay, yes.
Roll for communication.
Someday maybe we'll have a video session. Not now.
Not this day.
Not this day.
Okay, so can I ready my
Yeah.
spear? And if they fly, then I'm gonna
Yeah, okay.
let go.
All
Because he's
right.
not the stealthiest.
All right, go ahead.
That is another 17.
All right. So he has successfully snuck forward. And are you sneaking right up to them? Are you trying to...
That is a good question. I was planning on just sneaking up to within maybe 15 feet, trying to throw a stone. I wouldn't feel confident in making it up to staff range to smack one of them.
Okay. As of right now, let me roll one more time as you get that little bit closer for these two vultures on the ground here. One of the vultures must have heard something, just the slightest little shift in the dirt, turns around and makes a loud squawk at you both. You may now roll initiative.
Oh, okay.
The Born for My system recommends using dynamic initiative. And the person with the highest score is going to get the first turn, but when their turn is over, they can pass it off to someone else unless they have damaged someone. And if you are damaged in combat, then you have the chance to steal initiative and take your turn next, after which you can pass on your initiative.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oh man. Oh wait, but I have vigilant. But I
Vigilant.
forget what that does for me.
I do believe
you have
Vigilant gives you, I believe Vigilant lets you add your proficiency to your initiative roll.
I got a 13.
I've got an 11 at this point.
So then I have a 6. I rolled a 2.
You need to stop using that dice.
The person with the highest score, which I believe is actually LooksUp, a little bit further off, maybe 70 or 80 feet here.
I'm gonna get a bit closer. I want to make sure like I'm sort of angling, maybe that if one of them tries to fly at a low angle, I could opportunity attack it. But mostly I'm going to be spending my action analyzing target, where I spend an action to observe a visible creature, and then if I hit them, I deal 1d6 bonus damage with my weapon.
Yeah, you see the way it kind of flutters its wings. You see the way it kind of moves, hops back and forth a little bit, bobbing its head, staring at your brother and your father. And yeah, you get a good sense of its weak points. It's got kind of a long neck. It looks like that would probably be a weak point. Its wings, certainly. And are you moving forward?
Yes.
How far?
See, I don't want to be like right in the same group as them. I'm kind of like coming around to try and corral a little bit. Right. So yeah, I'm going to go the other way around where my smell is not carried by the
You
way.
go to the shadows.
Yes.
You are still going to need to roll stealth, though. See if they continue to not notice you over there.
Hey, it's fine if they notice me, but it would be preferable.
Yes, this one seems to be a keen blade, this vulture. And it glances back over at you again. However, you get to pass off initiative.
Yes.
And it may even be distracted from its real enemies who are sneaking up the other way.
I feel like as a little sister, this is not the first time that I've been involved in something that is roughly resembling a bait play. So I'm just going to quickly whistle for StandsTall to dive in on the other side.
You know it.
Okay, at your whistle, the other vulture also looks up at you, and the vulture that has been circling overhead swoops down a little bit closer, actually goes like, pretty close over your head there.
No.
Not an attack roll just yet. Not an attack, but it's checking you out.
A taunt.
Checking you out. All right, who are you passing it off to? All right, StandsTall.
Stands tall.
Commit birder.
Yeah. Birder. Oh no. It looks like female.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks up as a girl.
I just wanted to check.
And StandsTall.
Is male. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to clarify. I wasn't sure.
If that's confusing for you,
remembering.
audience, get Foxbitten used to it. Because it's the 21st century. Come on, just, all right.
Go eat the bad berries.
So, go eat the
I'm gonna run right up to it and do a stab.
All right, running with that spear in your hands. Make an attack roll.
Okay. I've only ever played D&D as a magic wielder. I've never...
Just think of your spells as being stabbed.
What am I using my strength?
Yeah, you're proficient in whatever weapons you have to start with.
So
You're
7 plus
proficient.
5.
Okay, 12. All right.
I'm great at math.
Hey, birds are not known for being heavily armored.
This is the first time I'm actually having to look up a stat block for something. So that hit.
Roll that beautiful
1d6.
Pointed wooden spear, right? Not with a stone tip. Yeah?
Yeah.
You're running right up. You've got it in
Yeah.
both hands, I'm assuming. You can roll that as a 1d8.
Oh, great. The D8 is 2 pyramids, butt to butt. Aww.
But add your strength.
The rolls. Add my strength. That's a 4.
Where do you attack it?
In
Center
the
of mass?
Chest. Yeah, right in the middle of that bird.
Okay, all right. Your spear goes right through one wing and then kind of into its body. The vulture tries to move away. Are you letting go of that spear? Are you holding on to it?
Holding on to it. Definitely.
Okay.
What a vulture would do armed.
Yeah, can't give this spear to the vulture. That is for sure.
Humanity over very early.
Yes, that's actually how the Neanderthals died. The woolly mammoths learned how to use spears. No, all right. This vulture, yeah, it's damaged. It is bleeding. You feel your spear moving as it struggles, but it manages to pull itself off of that point. It takes up off the ground, and with a sloppy kind of lopsided flight, it flies right at you.
Oh.
Yeah, you thought it was going to run away, huh?
Oh gosh.
This thing is pissed off, and it's hungry. It had some food,
Yeah.
and you just stabbed it. So yes, it flies right at you.
It's not used to food that stabs back, I would imagine, though.
Yeah, that's true. But this is the one who had been really on it, noticing everything. This is a smart vulture. I mean, you can maybe try it.
Brains
Silvertongue.
of the operation.
Yeah. Vulture, however, is pretty injured. It is flying lopsided, and as it flies at you, it kind of just you kind of get a smack of a wing across your face, and it moves on past. However, it is moving in the direction of SnowShines, who was right behind it. However, first the other vulture is going to, the other vulture lifts up its wings and it spreads its body out, making itself big, and it flaps its wings, not trying to take off, but it seems trying to maybe intimidate, and it kind of scuttles forward on its two kind of hopping little feet, and it scuttles at you. Also at StandsTall though.
Oh, they're coming for me.
Yeah, and it takes a stabby little beak right at your hand. It lifts up just enough off the ground that as you're holding that spear down where the other vulture's just gotten off of it, it flies right up and it bites at your arm.
A stab for a stab.
Oh, but it also is terrible. It's not sure. Maybe these things haven't run into humans that much before. They don't know what to do. Do you want to describe actually how you avoid this thing? It's coming right at your arm. Its beak is...
Oh, yeah. StandsTall is just calm, cool, and collected. Sidesteps it. The bird's flailing. StandsTall is calm. Sidestep.
Nice.
I think I'm just gonna take my staff in both hands and try to catch a swing on that vulture that's in the air. It's already taken some damage. 3 plus proficiency, so that's 5 plus 2, 7.
All right, that vulture.
That look, you couldn't hear the look of confidence he just gave.
Ball 1.
It has gotten a little bit of loft in the air now as it flew past you and you flailed your stick. You can almost hear it kind of laughing at you. It's making... I don't know what a vulture sounds like. In post-production, I'll add some vulture sound effects, maybe. We'll see. But it flies up and it lands in a tree nearby and squawks at all of you. The vulture on the ground that has just tried to bite StandsTall, the second one, on landing, it's hopping back over towards its bones. And it takes, again, that defensive stance, lifting up its wings to make itself look big. Oh my gosh, but you know what? We forgot about the bird and the fly. The round's not quite over.
Ah,
The bird in the fly swoops down and this time does make an attack at poor StandsTall.
so
I mean,
tall.
he's tall. He's up there.
Yep. Easy target, easy target. All
As
right.
the name might imply.
Ronan, I'm gonna hope that my oxbone dice rolls better than my red plastic dice.
But
So
we
thanks,
hope it
Mike. Oh,
They might resent the caveman aspect of this.
well, it
close to
did. All
home.
right. Well, it just gave me a 5. So yes, maybe we've upset the oxbone.
So maybe you need a
Gods.
blue dice.
Vultures are getting nowhere. All right, it flies down. It swoops at you. When it misses, it goes and it lands next to the other one. They seem very protective of this kill. You are close enough now that you can see that there is a bit of meat left. There's skin and fur. The bones are unbroken, and you know that there's sweet, delicious, nutritious marrow inside.
Nothing beats a good bone stew in the evening. Come, my children.
So it's back to you. What are you gonna do here, LooksUp?
So I'm just gonna take out my dagger and go for the one that you are fighting with. Do I get advantage because it's kind of entangled with him or no?
Okay, so I'm gonna assume you said you kind of circle around to the side. You've probably gotten a little bit closer, but you were a little ways off. You would be able to run close enough to throw something at them, or you can dash far enough to get all the way up to them, but you will not be able to make an attack in the same round.
I will dash.
Is there flanking in this game, in this world?
There could be.
Cool.
We'll see. Yeah.
Cool, because if so, I want to be as close as possible. All up flanking.
Okay, all right. So you're kind of you're dashing in, but kind of to the opposite side of the bones as where your sister is. I mean, your brother.
You get there.
Excuse me. I'm gonna go sit on my spear.
See, I'm trying to corner the bird a bit more, see if I can get any.
Okay. Yeah, you get right up on there. The vulture now, like, one of them turns around to face you, the other one is facing out that way. They look a little, they're both kind of doing that big, making themselves big thing, but they look a little unsure now. Passing it off to
I'm going to
StandsTall.
pass it back to StandsTall again, just to see if we can finish them off.
Love it. Whichever one is closest to me, I'm stabbing with my spear again.
Okay, roll it.
Oh boy,
Oh, yeah.
that went through so many phases. That's the
did.
slowest dice roll ever. That is a 17.
All right, that hits.
Yay. Okay, D8. Okay, this is, and plus my strength modifier?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 7.
You spit it, like, you just have it now on a spit. It's just, its lifeblood is gone. You see the light fading from its eyes. Its wings kind of flap a couple more times in like a death throw and then go still. And if you lift that spear up, it just lifts right up with it. It's
Perfect.
a fairly heavy bastard, though. You don't, other than maybe wanting to, like, remove the feathers or something, which I would recommend before you cook it.
The world's first Brazilian barbecue.
But it passes off the initiative to the other ones that just come down to sit next to it. And this one, though, is like thrown off. You seem dangerous, and there's someone on the other side. So
smaller.
it goes after LooksUp.
Oh no, sis.
Is always my least favorite part of the plan.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
no.
okay. That is a natural 20. That vulture,
Of course.
it was,
Great
it doesn't know
damage.
where to go. Its friend just died right in front of it, and it goes in the exact opposite direction, right at LooksUp, who is not all that tall,
Nope.
and it flies right up in her face and pecks. So, 2d4.
Oh man.
And am I within 60?
Five stamina points damage.
Am I within 60 feet?
You are most
Looks
definitely
up here.
within. Yeah, you snuck right up with them. Do you have something?
I do have something. I can use an encouragement die to reduce that by d6.
Reduce the damage?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So
I'm-
so explain this in this world. What is it that you are doing right now?
That is a good question. I'd say maybe I'll take the stone I had picked up a few minutes ago and throw it at the vulture. I don't really do any damage, but just knock it slightly off course of its attack.
Okay, all right. Roll your d6.
Nice.
All right. Well, that's a cool 1. So
Does it get your charisma modifier?
Right, so that reduces that from a 5 to a 4.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you'll take it.
4 stamina damage right at your cheek.
Oh my gosh.
My cheek!
Yeah, I mean, I would say your eye, but this is like just the beginning of the podcast, and having you be blinded right from the start seems like a bit much. This is a world where there's not magical healing. Injuries are going to matter more. And this is not hit points, this is not your overall health that you can magically recover all at once. This is your stamina. So you are getting hurt, it puts you in a bad place. You don't know how much more you can deal with today. But it also puts a big old nasty wound in your cheek. You feel the piercing go all the way through. With your tongue just after you feel on your cheek, and you can feel the blood seeping into your mouth. After getting like clinked with that rock on its way towards your face, it pecks at you, and then it grabs hold with its talons into your. You wearing like a fur kind of? Is it like in the image that you sent me?
Yeah.
All right. So a simple kind of fur top that goes over one shoulder, and this vulture is now gripping a hold of that.
Looks up.
Okay, but you've already taken your
That's what he
turn.
would say.
You've already taken your turn, but I'll let you, having just taken damage, you can pass that initiative off to your father.
I think
You're
that
up, Dad.
I'll
So
be
we get to
coming
the
over
other
to help. So I will see you get pecked and start running over with my staff raised to see if I can get this vulture off of your chest here. Come in right behind and take a swing, both hands.
Hit.
All right, that is a 20 for unnatural 20.
Oh,
It's dirty.
Exactly. And
All right, and what's the damage on this?
so damage, we are looking at 7.
Yeah, so this time, after your failure the first time, flailing that staff, you remember, wait, I'm experienced with this stuff, I can do this. And looks up and might give you a moment as you see this wood come flashing by your face, a little streak of brown, and it smacks that vulture, and the vulture squawks and falls to the ground, flapping briefly and then going still.
I kick it.
Kick it while it's down.
Oh,
sure.
It ate my cheek.
Cheek for cheek.
But the vultures are down. The one in the tree kind of like takes off, flies back over for a moment, and squawks, and then takes off into the air and disappears out of sight. You do see a few drops of blood flying as it. This is the one you'd already hurt pretty badly. This is a species of vulture that doesn't exist anymore in the world. Hey, it's the first human-caused extinction.
Yay, we did it.
Just joking, maybe. So now you've got 2 dead birds, and they are pretty good. Like I said, one of them was big enough that it seemed like it would be a meal for the 3 of you. You've got enough that you could possibly share or save it.
Nice.
And what can we get from the bone situation? I'm interested in those bones.
Okay. So as you start to examine those bones, you can see, and from the fur as well, what you've got is the body of a large cat. And this leopard's pelt has been a bit ripped up by the birds feeding into it, but you have got, you're able to pull off of it a decent little bit of leather that one could use for something. You could replace a lost bit of skirt, or maybe even something to put over your feet, although you are currently barefoot. Sure. I mean, it's not too cold, why wouldn't you be? There are some good bones in there. You get a couple of pieces of bone that you can decide amongst yourselves how you distribute that, but you can definitely have enough for each of you to take some nice bone, which you can later take your stone sharp tools with and carve it down, see what you can do. I don't know who's trained in working with bone.
I am.
Woohoo! Okay.
Very nice.
All right,
That's
we've
why
got
I'm
one.
interested in the bones.
Do you want this bones?
If you don't want it,
I can't work bones.
sure.
Bones.
I'll make you something.
Nice.
Nor can I. You can have
Can you
my
make
bones
these?
All right,
as well.
Dad.
All right.
Man, I'm winning.
Yeah, StandsTall's got a bunch of bones, a nice little bit of pelt, and I'm gonna give this to you, SnowShines, as the eldest member. You have seen hard times before. You go up, you take one of the femur bones off of this big cat. You take rock. Yeah, there you go. We've got some bones on the table here for those of you who can't see.
Not real bones?
No, they're plastic bones. It's
They're made from
disappointing.
tiny plastic animals.
Yes. So Snowshine walks up, searches amongst the bones, picks up a couple of good thick ones from the upper parts of the legs, and just takes a simple rock, smashes it a couple of times. The bone cracks open, revealing the marrow inside. So what do you do with your winnings?
Yeah, so I feel like we'll try to tie up the birds over our staff and spear and try to bring them back to the rest of the tribe. But as we work, I'll probably be snacking away on some bone marrow there. Get a little stick and work on taking it out as we travel.
Okay, all right.
I'm
The rest of you.
prioritize going back to Greed's Dawn when we return to get my cheek fixed. So,
Yeah.
You're going to see whom?
Greed's Dawn, the elder
Greed's
shaman who trained me.
Dawn. Yes, of course.
I would
yes.
assume if I have herbalism, she trained me in herbalism.
All right, so you wander on back towards your tribe. We're going to cut back quickly to Oops and Slow to Speak. Oops and Slow to Speak, you have, I'm going to go ahead and give you, I don't remember what you rolled earlier, I'm going to ignore it anyway. You managed to find there's some nice herbs around there. You've started up a nice little fire. Not like the other people's mother, just a small fire.
Yes.
And yeah, so you skin. Who's gonna skin this rabbit?
I will let you skin this rabbit.
So, Oops is going to skin the rabbit.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Nice sharp piece of stone in your hand.
Oh yeah, it's like dropping a rock.
Yes. Duh.
I'm trying, y'all.
Love it. Okay, so you've got yourself a nice bit of. It's gonna require a little. It's a little bloody. You're gonna need to dry it and stuff. But you've got a nice little pelt you can do something with. No super useful bones in there. Rabbit bones are quite small. However, yeah, you cook yourself up a nice little rabbit meal. Maybe flavor it with some herbs that you found, and chow down.
I am proud of what you have done today. You are growing well.
Thank you. And as she says that, can she sleight of hand some of the rabbit meat into her bag because she wants to save it?
Yeah. So go ahead and roll for sleight of hand. You can roll for perception to see if you notice.
Oh, that's a natural one.
14.
Slow to speak. You see. Describe what
okay.
you're trying to do.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, thank you, that's so kind. And then she is putting some of the meat from the rabbit. She starts fumbling with her bag. She's trying to do it real smooth, but she can't seem to get the right pack. It can't open. Can't do. She ends up dropping it on the ground.
Slow to Speak very obviously is studying his own fingernails.
Oops. Picks it up real fast. Puts it in her bag.
I smirk a little bit. I'm not sure if you notice.
Probably not.
All right. Nothing else comes along while you are doing all of this.
Do we find anything that we
But
can
you-
take back to the
You most
tribe?
definitely. Yeah. You've got some of the planty stuff. You can.
I do have skills in herbs, food preserving.
Food preserving
And-
will be really useful once you have more food than you
Right,
desperately
right.
need to eat at the moment.
But, also perception, insight. So anyhow, 17 plus 5. So that would be
Jeez.
22.
You're proficient in so many skills.
Just wisdom.
Yeah, so many wisdom skills.
Yeah.
Yours.
I've packed myself with
proficient.
wisdom.
You find a little grove of mushrooms, managed to bring back maybe not a full meal, but a little good little side accompaniment for something, and a fair
They
number of berries
they
as
pair
well.
well
There you go.
with buzzard.
How do you think we did? Like
It
because I mean we got some good herbs and mushrooms. Like we found this whole place.
Rabbit skin.
Yeah.
my child. We are one. Our tribe, our people. We bring back what we can. But this is what we found. This is what the spirits led us to. And this place is better than one large animal. This could lead to many animals and many more days for all of us. So I think we did very well.
So little fire will have happiness.
I would not guarantee that Little Fire will have happiness. Happiness and Little Fire sometimes can't be in the same space together.
Oops is just gonna nod and just be like, yeah.
There are definite signs that other animals do come to this place. But now the sun is getting low in the sky. You know that nighttime brings larger and more dangerous predators than even the Crow tribe.
My child, we must return now if we do not wish to turn from the hunters to the hunted.
Jump. Jump.
Thus concludes the first ever episode of Tales of Fire and Stone. Join our Stone Age adventure next time as we fix our microphone setup and have less sound quality issues. Will LooksUp's cheek be forever scarred? Will she and her brother StandsTall and their father SnowShines share their hard-won meat? Will Oops's contributions be accepted? And will SnowShine's mate Little Fire ever find happiness? And finally, will the new spring discovered by Oops and Slow to Speak be enough to keep the Crow tribe going? Or will they be forced to venture into an unknown world to seek out new land? Find out next time on Tales of Fire and Stone, available on a podcast app near you. This podcast was recorded at Media Factory in Burlington, Vermont, with the help of Jordan Butterfield, and the support of Born from Ice, Tabletop EDU, and Crow's Path, whose mission is to connect people of all ages to wildness. Find out more at crowspath.org/stonepod. The music you heard was by the primal Siberian band Otuken. Their song Pulse for the intro and outro, and Storm for the battle scene.
Here you go. We've got some bones on the table here for those of you who can't see.
Not real bones.
No, they're plastic bones. It's
They're made from
disappointing.
tiny plastic animals.
Yes, they are, exactly.
Sustainably raised.
I'm not going to promise that. They're from the Dollar Tree, probably.
The tree has bones?
Go sit on a spear, basically.
Because we're
sit
not
hard.
entirely what you expect. Pennywise.
Yeah.
This is true.
We're not even really cave folk.
Wait. What?
Don't tell the audience. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Yes, I found them all in the woods and I dragged them into this recording studio to make this podcast with me. I figured the real thing was just going to work better.